Hey, what's up, y'all? Outlaw-x builds. Oh my God. And we repair, and we mess with, and we diagnose, or attempt to. Alright, so I'm having problems with my power stroke. It is and has been giving me some issues since the first of the year. And I'm having problems with one bad injector right now. It takes fits off and on. And it'll say, I went ahead and bought a 4-stand and all that for my laptop so I could get into what's going on a little deeper. And at the beginning of this, it ran like it had a mist, smoke, just got unburnt fuel chugging out, yada, yada, yada. Replaced the IPR, the ICP, then went to the valve cover gaskets, or started off with glow plugs, went to ICP, IPR, and then I replaced the valve cover gaskets and the pigtails, and I still was having problems. I bought the 4-stand, and it was saying that I had issues with cylinders 3, 5, 7, and then it was 5 and 7. Then I replaced, what did I replace? Oh, I went and bought used injectors and put a set of used injectors in it and thought maybe that might take care of the issue. No, it didn't. It would come up that I had problems with cylinders 5 and 8. Where'd 8 come from? So I cleared all the codes, did the contribution test and the buzz test again, and now it's just singling out cylinder 5. So I'm not diesel illiterate. I am not diesel savvy. I haven't done a lot of work to them. I've learned more in the last 3 months than I have in a year. So that being said, I posted in Diesel Knuckle Busters on Facebook, and I could not get an ohm reading on my number 5 injector. So I am going to assume that now that something's either wrong in the engine wiring harness or the IDM, because I have stuck 4 different injectors that I know were good into cylinder 5, and it keeps saying short, high, low, code P1291 and P1293 and P1275. Always, with all the injectors have been in there, it throws that code. So since I couldn't get an ohm reading on my multimeter, I made me a little harness that went from the injector hookup to the IDM hookup. And I had this young man, he looks like he's mid-20s, trying to tell me about grounds and how they don't share a ground on the IDM. So this is for educational purposes, not to poke fun at people. I'll probably post this in that group as well, because I do not want people following his ill advice, because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, now, on your valve cover gaskets, you have a ground on either side for your wiring harness. That bank for all your injectors share that ground. You have 2 glow plugs on the front side of the harness, 2 glow plugs on the back side of the harness for 4 glow plugs to each bank. And then on your 7.3 diesel valve cover gaskets, when you're looking down at it, if you're looking at the driver's side and you're standing outside the wheel well in front of the tire looking at it, you have 2 wires. One is your number 1 glow plug. Number 2 is your number 2 glow plug, or second glow plug, which would be cylinders 2 and 4. And then on the back side of the harness, you have the outside 2 wires coming from the back towards the middle. You have your end one, that is glow plug number 8, and then the one in front of that will be glow plug number 6. And then you have 5 more wires in the center of that. Okay? The first wire is your fuel injector for cylinder 2. The second one is the hot wire for cylinder 4, then your ground, and then the next one is for cylinder 6, and then the last one is cylinder 8 hots. They all share that one ground in the middle. That's coming out of the IDM. All right, so like I said, for educational purposes, I did a continuity test, and this guy was trying to tell me, kid was trying to tell me, well, sure, it's got continuity, but what's your ohms? I'm not getting an ohm reading because I do believe my IDM is bad. Usually when you lose an IDM, you lose the entire bank. This whole side would die, not just one cylinder. But I've had problems off and on intermittently with cylinders 3, 5, and 7. Those are on this side. This is 1, 3, 5, and 7. So I am having problems with the entire bank from time to time. Cylinder 5, this joker right here, this guy 3 back, has given me constant problems. It is basically dead. All right, so I made me a little harness that it goes into the injector hookup right there that's in the harness. We have nothing touching there. All right, where's my multimeter? Okay. This is where I get my, it shares. There's the driver module. Then all these come out. It shows grounds, 4 grounds on each side. Okay, but if you look at the power going in, there's a hot and a negative going in. Okay, so then that tells me those 4 on the bank 1 shares a ground. Same here with bank 2. Those 4 wires, ground wires, come into the module. It shares a ground. All right. So this kid was trying to tell me that my continuity test wasn't a good test. Well, yeah, it is. If I've got continuity from one end to the other, then we're good. The harness is good. All right, we've got our multimeter set on continuity. All right, now I've got my hot wire over there hooked up to the white, I do believe. So then we'll hook this one to the other side, which would be the negative. I do believe I used the ground for the ground. All right, let's unhook this one. Let's go for the genuine, true test here. Close the old wood stove so we don't get burned. It's going to be kind of tricky being one-handed here. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can steady this thing up. All right, I'm going to put y'all in my pocket and see how that works out. Nope, maybe not. I'm afraid I'll hit a button. Oh, went the old multimeter. All right, right now we're going to check the grounds. See if our grounds are any good. So, I really need a GoPro or something. You know, hear that? That's one. Okay, there's one. There's two. Right there's three. And there's four. Thus proving my point that continuity will tell you if you're broken between one end and the other. And that one ground is four wires on the bank 1 and 2, that all four injectors on each bank share the negative people and not knowing what they're saying and then offering advice. Just like, let's go to, I remember where number 2's at. All right, let's get this rascal undone. Now, pin 8, wheel number 5 injector. All right, the ground's hooked up, and ground pin 8 should be here. It doesn't make noise anywhere else. Pin 8, injector 5. Well, lesson over. That sometimes you need to, what I call, educate, investigate, and educate. If you don't know something, look it up and educate yourself. 2, don't offer advice you don't know anything about. There's a difference between cocky and arrogance and confidence. Just saying. So now we know that all four grounds on bank 1 are good from the IDM box. The harness is good from the IDM box all the way over to the injectors. And cylinder 5 is good from the harness to the injector hookup, the coupler. So everything's good. I've swapped the injector, 4 times, I believe. So now I know that there's got to be a problem in the IDM, because I've had intermittent problems, 357, never one, but 357, off and on. So, and then to throw number 8 into the mix and then take it out. So now it's just down to number 5. Got to be a problem with the IDM. I don't know, but please, if you're going to offer advice, please know what you're advising to. Please. Because 4 injectors, 1 wiring harness on 1 bank, all share a ground. Talk to y'all later. Have fun.